best record game, which the best record game is a game that's played halfway through, kind of like an all-star game. It's a non-points game, so it will not affect your record. It will not lower your record. It will not raise your record. Basically what it is it's a game for the two teams with the best record to play in. So, after week 6, which is next week, obviously, the next week in the season, we'll put the teams with the best records in a wheel, and we'll spin it. The two teams the wheel selects, those two teams will go against each other in the game, which will be at U.S. Bank Stadium, home of the Minnesota Vikings. And during the summer league, because I have two leagues, the summer and the winter league. During the summer league, it was played at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, and it was between the Lions and the Jaguars, and the Lions went on to win. I believe it was 39-35. And yeah, so basically what the teams that will go in the wheel first are any undefeated teams. Any teams that are 6-0 will go in the wheel first, and then any 5-1, 4-2 teams will go in. The lowest that is eligible is 4-2. But anyway, before we kick this off, we gotta get our picks in. See, I'm going with the Giants just because in week 1, the Giants played the Ravens here at home and blew them out 49-9. And we'll have to see as soon as he gets back who wins this game. Coming up next, Ravens versus Giants here on Saturday Night Football. Oh, also, to mention, after this, it's a brand new episode of GTA 5 Live PD coming up right after this game. So without further ado, let's see who wins this one. And also, keep in mind, yes, you're going to see it correctly, both teams will be wearing a white jersey. It's kind of like a whiteout game. The Giants are wearing their Color Rush jerseys, which are white, and the Ravens are wearing their road jerseys, pants and socks and shoes, which are white, and that's the same thing the Giants are wearing. It's kind of like a whiteout game in the snow. It is snowing here in East Rutherford, New Jersey, so we got a good contest, and without further ado, I have to pause because I got to make sure Tyler Huntley gets in because Lamar Jackson is benched ever since that week 1 game versus them. Oh, I did. Okay, so now, without further ado, we got 10-minute quarters here, and the Giants are going to receive the ball, so the Ravens will get it to start the second half. Here's Justin Tucker, and we're underway from MetLife. Lewis actually, a miracle happened. Lewis was able to come back this week from his injury. He was not supposed to come back until next week, but because it was just a minor wrist injury, he was able to come back, and he's 100% ready to go. As you get a look at Daniel Jones there, and here he comes, and he's got to be loving this. His guys blew out the Ravens in week 1, 49-9, and they'll be looking to do the same thing again tonight. And here we go, 1st and 10 from their own 25. Here's Jones. He takes the snap. He's gonna fire over the middle, and it is complete for the first down to Ingram, I believe his name is. Ingram. Yep, Ingram. And then Elliott on the tackle. I don't know his first name, but we'll just say Elliott. Here's Jones on 1st and 10 from his 42. No, not Zeke. Jones airs one down the field. Pass is caught. A 42-yard reception for Shepard, I believe. And the Ravens, or not the Ravens, the Giants. The Giants have back-to-back first downs. Here's Jones. Fires for Shepard. Too far out of the back of the end zone.
For Sterling Shepard, incomplete. It leads to 2nd and 10.
We got three, fellas, we got three.
Pass is caught, and I don't think he got the first down.
Jones
It's
pass.
third down and inches.
Complete to Caden Smith. Brings up third down.
Here's Jones, third and inches. Fires. Oh, it's intercepted at the goal line. The Ravens have the ball, and there he goes. 40, 50, and he's tackled at the 49 in enemy territory. Tyler, not Taylor.
Intercepted by the Ravens.
Tyler Huntley is ready to go to work, and Daniel Jones makes a big mistake after getting back-to-back first downs on his first drive. Here's Huntley. Huntley fires incomplete, almost intercepted.
Huntley's pass. Intended for Mark Andrews.
I'm not dropping my controller. There's a timeout that was called. Probably because my controller fell, but so the Giants use the first of their timeouts. Here's Huntley. Looks like he's going for Des Bryant. Oh, it's incomplete.
Huntley's pass.
And
Intended for Des Bryant. Incomplete.
I don't know, because Lamar threw a lot more interceptions than him. I think it's the weather in reality, as the Andrews could not haul that one in. 4th and 10.
Incomplete. Sam Cook on to punt for the Ravens.
Peppers spinning. And he returns this to his own 41. That's where the Giants will take over.
Giants take over 1st and 10.
So maybe there could be confusion with the jerseys, though, because both teams are wearing white jerseys. Caught by Shepard at the 32 in enemy territory.
For a Giants first down. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
And how about that? They're, minus the interception, the Giants have come out here and they've looked good to open up this game. As here's Jones firing, it is incomplete.
Jones pass.
I think the weather.
Intended for Darius Slayton. Incomplete. Marcus Peters on the coverage.
Pass is caught, touchdown, Giants. Slayton with the 32-yard catch.
Touchdown Giants. Graham Gano on for the extra point.
Yeah, you pretty much went nowhere with an interception when you could have had 7-0 already, and the game could have been tied at 7. Instead, you get the ball back and you're already down a touchdown.
Graham Gano set to kick off.
Well, here's the reason why I think the Ravens are playing Huntley is because he has a better record than Jackson does. Jackson was 0-1, and Huntley's come out here 2 wins and 1 tie. That's pretty good. That's better than Jackson, in fact. And I think someday, I say keep Huntley in, even though he is kind of overthrowing some of these guys. Because in reality, Huntley could be the guy to come back. You know, maybe the Giants will be only ahead by 3, and then they make a mistake, and Huntley can get it in for a late touchdown or a field goal. As that's incomplete.
Huntley's pass intended for J.K. Dobbins. Incomplete.
Or if not Lamar, let one of the other, maybe have Justin Tucker or another QB come out. As there's finally a completion for Huntley, and I expect him to try to go for it. 4th and 2,
To J.K. Dobbins. It's a gain of 8, but it brings up 4th down.
Here it is, and I don't think he got the first down. No, the Giants have stopped him. But you gotta think though. Just because Huntley's not doing good now doesn't mean he can't turn it around. And in reality, every team has that one game. As Barkley rushes to the 15.
Number 26, Saquon Barkley, the ball carrier. Patrick Queen on the tackle. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 15-yard line.
Jones fires. Oh, the Ravens could have had the pick there. Instead, 3rd down and 3.
Incomplete. He was covered by Patrick Queen.
Passes caught, touchdown, Ingram. Giants on top.
Touchdown, Giants. Graham Gano on
This to make it 14-0.
his kick.
And if I'm the Ravens, I at least want to erase that 0 from the board. So maybe get down the field and at least kick a field goal. You know, I mean, you still got plenty of game left, so a touchdown would be better. But you got to do what you got to do to get that 0 off the board. You got to take advantage here. Maybe run the football if throwing's not working.
The Raven.
And I just heard that they're going to send Justin Tucker in and let him play. Not because the coach is mad at Huntley. He just thinks Huntley could use a break. And my correction, I meant they're sending in Trace McSorley, not Justin Tucker.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Here's McSorley. McSorley hesitates for a minute and is going to get sacked, so he comes out with a rush for -3 yards. Probably not the best way to start.
Tackled back at the 28-yard line.
I think he was maybe a little disoriented by the block, and maybe that's why he hesitated and stopped running. There's Dobbins, and he gets it to... Oh, he's got injury on the field. Dobbins injured on one play, and we're going to step aside. If I felt like giving credit to a song and kept it turned down, I would play the Fox injury theme, but I don't feel like giving credit to it. Dobbins goes down, 3rd down and 12, and McSorley. Oh, he almost had a completion to Dez Bryant.
McSorley's pass intended for Dez Bryant, incomplete.
Muscle cramps. He has a medium chance at re-injury. I think I replace him with Edwards for this game. You don't need a guy going down with an injury and costing you the game. Koch punched this one away, and look at that. None of them catch it. And he gets it. And really nowhere to run after that. Like 3 Ravens were on him like Donkey Kong, the video game.
41-yard line.
So, see, the Ravens are not playing bad defense, but their offense needs to turn it around. Passes, batted away! And that's an example of why we're saying they're playing good defense.
It's now 2nd and 10.
And Lamar might see some time too. It depends. Like the coach might say, "All right, Lamar, go out there, and if you start doing bad, then maybe you bench him again." Passes caught, Barkley, and takes that to 39.
That's good for a Giants. 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
I mean, and the reason they benched him is because in that first game, Lamar threw a bunch of interceptions. He had like 8 interceptions throughout the game, 4 picks in each half. So, I mean, while it may seem like they just benched him after one game, I mean, I could see why coach would bench him. As Barkley, oh, and he's dropped at the 32, so only a gain of 2. And like I said, these two teams met up in week 1. And this is just the second game where we've seen the two teams that played each other in week 1 match up again. Back last Wednesday, as that's incomplete for Golden Tate, the Rams and Chargers went at it, and they played each other in week 1. In week 1, the Rams won 34-30, and the Rams ended up winning 49-26 in the rematch. So the Chargers are 0-5, and they are just one game away from being eliminated from playoff contention. So if they lose next week, they're out of the playoffs, no matter what, as that kick is good from 49 yards to make it 17-0. And we'll see if the Ravens can do something on this drive with McSorley. I mean, he was just tossed into the game, didn't really get any time to warm up on that last drive, so I could understand why he coughed a lot on that one. As here's the return. And that, he doesn't really get, he's the third string quarterback. He doesn't really get, you know, much playing time. He almost completed it to Dez Bryant for the first down, but Dez Bryant said, "Sorry, I don't want the first down," apparently, or something like that. As here's McSorley, he's gonna take it himself. McSorley, and how about that gain for a first down?
McSorley on the keeper. He was brought down by James Bradbury. A gain of 11 on the play. First down, Baltimore.
Here's McSorley, 1st and 10, and a guy slips and falls from the Ravens. He hits up Mark Andrews instead, making a good choice there. You don't want to throw it to somebody that slips and falls, because that's where some of your interceptions come into play.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Or incomplete passes. And McSorley, and how about that? A first down. McSorley, I mean, he could be in for this game, and I mean, with Lamar Jackson benched, if he doesn't get any more chances this season, I think McSorley and Huntley's the way to go. I really do. Huntley's proven that he can win games. I mean, he struggled a little bit as that pass was almost caught. Again, like, that's an example. That's back-to-back passes where the back-to-back deep throws where the receiver caught it and then just drops it. I'm not really sure what's going on through them, as Dez Bryant has the first down. And could McSorley lead them to their first points of this game? I mean,
complete to Dez Bryant. A gain of 16 yards. First down, Ravens.
but I mean, right now, yes, but I mean, pretty much what happened with Huntley's the same thing that happened with McSorley. They were throwing the ball to their receivers, and their receivers were just dropping it. So maybe it was a little more on the receivers and not the QB themselves. As that is incomplete.
McSorley's pass, intended for Miles Boykin, incomplete.
And that pass was incomplete. It would have been a touchdown if he grabbed it. Instead, 2nd and 10, and he's wrapped up, nowhere to go, and Baltimore is going to call their first time out of the half. So 17 to zip.
On the tackle. It's a loss of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
3rd down. Oh, he's going. McSorley's going. Did he catch it? Touchdown, Ravens. And just like that, the Ravens have made it an 11-point game. They can make it a 10-point game with a field goal. But, I mean, Justin Tucker really never misses. So, here it is for the 10-point game. And, man, Lamar is doing the hold of shame. He's holding the snaps for the field goals. And that makes it 17 to 7. And literally, there was only seconds left in the first quarter. It really was. I mean, don't sleep on that drive out of the Ravens. Like, seriously, a bunch of Ravens fans were probably getting ready to make their way to the parking lot, and then their guys score, making a 10-point game. I mean, you could be like the New England Patriots in real life right now and be down 27-0 in the second quarter, but as Jones is throwing a deep one, it is. Oh, he swatted it. Slayton could have hauled that in one-handed. Instead, he just swatted that away from himself. I'm not really certain why, but I guess he just didn't want that ball. As that is intercepted by the Ravens. That is their second pick of the first quarter. Their first pick went nowhere. They ended up having to punt. Their second pick, though, however, we'll have to see where it goes as we start the second quarter of play. Ravens down 17 to 7 right now, with a chance to really make it a 3-point game. And here he goes for Dez Bryant. McSorley, Bryant had it and dropped it again, and he's probably going to get an earful from the coach on that one. I mean, that's two catches that he could have caught, or 2 passes that he could have caught, and that he dropped. And there's Boykin with the first down. Yes, 1st and 10 from the opponent 25.
It's a gain of 10, and the Ravens first down.
McSorley, and he drops it. That was the easiest catch. I'm not really certain why he dropped that one.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Andrews, and he dropped it.
McSorley's pass.
3rd and 10, and you literally would you?
Incomplete.
Okay, if you were the Ravens out there, would you rather this game be 14-17 and a 3-point, or 10-17 and a? Oh, that's caught! He deflected that into the air, and they caught it for the touchdown.
Complete to Dez Bryant.
What a catch by Dez Bryant! And we gotta show you that one again. Look at this play. That is insane. I've never seen anything like that before. So you see, let's go to the back of the end zone here where it took place. Okay, right here. I mean, the Ravens almost throw a pick. 23 bats it up, and Bryant hauls that one in for the touchdown. That was one of those easy catches. You know, but here's the deal. How come he can't catch the ball when his QB throws it to him?
Tucker lining up for the extra point.
Like, he can catch... Exactly. And Tucker's kick is almost no good, but it is to make it 14-17. But what I was saying is, like you said, he throws it to him at the chest, as in real life right now. The Bills are up 27-3 at halftime in the AFC wild card, the second AFC wild card, for those of you wondering. But back to the e-football world. I mean, McSorley throws it to him right in the chest. That's an easy catch, and he drops it. But yeah, he catches a deflection in the end zone for a touchdown, as here's Lewis on the return. I'm really... Now I know why the Ravens lost in week 1. I mean, come on, like, seriously. And Huntley, the coach... I did get an update on our sideline reporter, and the coach did say Huntley's not in trouble. He's just not going to play the rest of this game because he's unable to... what do they call it? Be able to play in the weather. Like, the weather is a big factor to him, so he's not in trouble. For those of you wondering, he'll probably be back out playing next week, as that's picked off by the Ravens. And the Ravens, and end zone touchdown. The Ravens have jumped out. The Ravens were down 17-0, and they come back 3 scores and take the lead here with 8:31 to go until halftime. And I think if you're the Giants coach, you take Jones out. That's his 3rd interception.
Makes the score Ravens 21, Giants 17.
Seriously though, I mean, like, come on, Jones. You literally shellacked them in week 1, and now, like, and now you're down 4 points. We'll have to see what happens on the next drive. But, yeah, I got nothing out of that one. The Ravens score, and that's a good, and that's why I was saying, the Ravens defense is good, just the Ravens need to turn it around.
Justin Tucker,
I mean,
for Baltimore.
McSorley coming out and putting them in that position on that last score, with 2 scores on back-to-back drives, put them into position for it, and then the Ravens come up with a pick, and it turns into a pick 6 for them to take the lead. As Colt McCoy is out now for the Giants, so yeah, Jones might be getting an earful at halftime, and that is caught by Slayton.
That's good for a Giants first down.
So we'll have to see if Colt McCoy can get the Giants back in the lead after that one. As Barkley, 2nd and inches. And, I mean, kudos to the Ravens, though. Like, you know, and even kudos to Huntley. Huntley came out here. He made an effort to play this game, as that's intercepted by the Ravens again. But Huntley, you know, he came out, he tried. He's like, I can't do this. So the coach pulls him out, puts in McSorley, as McSorley's walking back out there again. 2 touchdowns in a row for him. They score 14-17. Then Jones throws a pick over the middle, and that is a return for a touchdown. And then the Giants just throw another pick right there. So, I mean, while they're not going to be swept by the Ravens in this game, that just guaranteed the Ravens a better chances. There's our first flag of the game with 7:19 to go until the half. It's holding on the Ravens. So 1st and 20 from their own 28. As Edwards gets it back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 20. And even if they don't convert here, there's really not a need to pull McSorley out yet. I mean, he's had his efforts, as I believe that was caught. It was, actually. It was caught, so 3rd down and 4. I mean, like I said, I don't really see a need to pull him out, do you? I mean, they'll probably let Lamar play. But it might be he might not play until week 6, just because, like, usually coaches come into the game, they know what they know their roster as McSorley slips and he's gonna get sacked. So 2nd and 16. But I mean, and in reality, Baltimore should be used to these conditions. So, I mean, but like McSorley, I understand if you slip, as the Giants cannot come up with a pick. That was a dangerous pass, but I understand you slip, but like they should know how to at least play in this weather. And McSorley has made sure that's incomplete. So unfortunately, the Ravens will have to punt the ball away, and we'll have to see if the Giants can turn things around, because right now, they're kind of looking like dog crap, like Dwayne Johnson would say.
Jabril Peppers on the return. The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
I feel sorry for Colt McCoy. He comes out, thinks he's going to do good, and then throws an interception on his first drive. We'll have to see where this one goes. 1st and 10 from their own 27. McCoy looks like he's going to hand it to Barkley, and Barkley's dropped at the 28, so only a gain of 1.
He was brought down at the 28-yard line. 1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
Oh, Slayton with the catch and run to make it 1st down. And I think if you're the Giants, don't worry about taking the lead because it's only in the first half, but maybe kick a field goal, make it a 1-point game. Under pressure, he throws another pick.
McCoy's pass intercepted by the Ravens.
And word just has it that Colt McCoy has become a streaker of the game. Which, if you don't know what a streaker is, it's somebody who jumps out of the stands and runs on the field, and he does not look too happy after that. As, wow, Andrews just gets bulldozed. Yeah, he's got to turn to Antonio Brown, man. He's got to pull off his jersey, throw it on the ground, and put up the 2 fingers and run to the locker room. Poor Colt McCoy, he's like, why do I play for this team? Like, seriously. Seriously, though, you win 49-9 in week 1, and now you're trailing 21-17 when, in reality, to a 3rd string, yes, when you could have been ahead even more. And look at that. What is that? What is that? How can he not catch that? Like, man, that one song from TikTok can't say because it has a swear word in it, but, and I don't swear anyway, but I'm just saying, like, what the heck is that? Like, seriously.
Jabril Peppers on the coverage.
3rd down and 10 for the Ravens. Over the middle, Andrews, touchdown.
McSorley's pass complete to Mark Andrews. Touchdown, Baltimore.
27-17, 2-scored lead. Here's Justin Tucker, and I don't expect him to miss. And 28-17. And if the Ravens can win this game, I mean, think about it. That helps them towards the playoffs, which You know how the college does their playoff game, right? So instead of normal single elimination playoffs, we're having bowl games. So like we'll go to like Detroit, Las Vegas, and only certain teams will be eligible for the national championship. As Lewis to return it. And the national championship will be played at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. And the two conference champions, there'll be 2 games for each conference, 2 NFC championships and 2 AFC championships. That does not mean you are locked into the national championship, as that is swatted. That puts you at a great chance for them. That puts you in contention for the championship, but you have to win the rest of your playoff games. So you'll have like maybe 2 or 3 bowl games that you have to play, and then if you lose them bowl games, you're eliminated. Or if you win, then you move on, as that's caught by Slayton at the 45. And about 15 seconds away from that 2-minute warning, and Giants were up 17-0, and now they find themselves trailing 28-17. Big play over the middle. How about a touchdown as Slayton catches it? 45 yards. And if you're the Ravens and you just pulled ahead 2 scores, you really don't want them doing plays like that on you, because now it's back to a 4-point game at 28-24. Super Bowl 49. What did I say? Malcolm Butler picking off Russell Wilson at the goal line to win for the Patriots to win. What did I say? I don't know what I said. Here's the return, and well, we are about 1/2 and 2 minutes and 1 second away from a new episode of GTA 5 Live PD, coming up immediately after the post-game show here on YTN. As McSorley, what was that? McSorley? I thought he dropped it for a minute, but it's just a 2-minute warning. A minute 58 to go, 2nd and 11 from their own 29. McSorley over the middle throws incomplete. And what's going on here? I mean, McSorley had good drives going, and now he's a little disoriented. But the good news for the Giants is if they can get a stop here, which they did, and they can keep the ball, they get the ball to start the second half, so they could potentially take a 3-point lead.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own.
You will have to talk to coach at halftime. You could be coach, or as there's a nice catch, and they could even get that lead heading into halftime. I mean, but the good news for the Giants, they were down 2 scores. Really good defense and catches have put them back within 1 score, and they call a quick timeout with 56 seconds. And you are right. Here's Colt McCoy going for Slayton. Slayton incomplete and roughed up there. That should have been an unnecessary roughness penalty. And that's a no call on the Ravens. We'll have to see how that one will affect the Giants. And going for Golden Tate, incomplete. Come on, dude. You could have caught that. You had nobody there until literally 3 seconds. Yeah.
He was covered by Patrick Queen.
Colt McCoy says he refuses to kick a field goal. That's incomplete. Sorry, you might kick a field goal. As that's 4th and 10. No, they're going to go for it.
Sets up 4th down.
I don't... They get it! Touchdown! Holy smokes! They put 3 scores on the board in the first half to take the lead going into half. Colt McCoy. And he might be able to save their season. The good news for them is they only have 2 losses. So, I mean, they're still in contention for it. And as long as, I mean, if the Giants lose this game, they're still in contention for it. They have a good chance at making it. So, like, I mean, and 31 to, this is going to be a high-scored game, I have a feeling. 31-28, 32 seconds to go until halftime. This is going to be an interesting halftime report for sure. As here's McSorley. Fires over the middle, pass is incomplete. Peppers on the coverage.
Intended for Mark Andrews. Incomplete. Jabril Peppers on the coverage.
McSorley.
McSorley's pass. Complete to Miles Boykin.
I don't know, partner. We'll have to see what Harbaugh says. As that is caught. And, I mean, in reality, they're gonna be a smart aleck, and they are gonna call that timeout. I mean, unfortunately, this from 61 yards out. Can Justin Tucker kick it to tie the game at half? Tucker's kick is no good.
His kick is no good. That keeps the score Giants 31, Ravens 28.
No good. And he kicked a 66-yard in real life to beat the Lions, which in reality, many Lions fans could argue that that field goal should have never existed because they should have been called for delay a game. I agree with that. Because if you look, and Ravens fans really can't talk trash about that because, like, I mean, in reality, yeah, they got lucky.
Graham Gano set to kick off.
And I think the Giants received, so that's why the Ravens are getting the kickoff. And they did, so we're underway in the second half. And the coach said he will toss Lamar in for a play, but if it results in an interception, he's pulling Lamar out because he does not want Lamar getting hurt, he said, and he does not want the game to be completely smoked. I mean, come on. 3 scores. The Giants came back 3 scores to lead 31-28 at halftime, and you were up 28 to like 17. Here's Jackson, his first time since week 1 playing. Hands it up, fakes the handoff, and whoa, the defense knows how Lamar does his stuff.
Jackson on the keeper.
That is, you got to admit, kudos to the defense there. They learned what Lamar does, and they took him down for a loss of 3. I mean, look at that, like, nowhere to go. Jackson just only saw him eating the turf. It kind of does, honestly. So another no call. Jackson over the middle, pass is caught.
Jackson's pass.
30-yard reception.
A gain of 30. And a Raven first down.
Lamar does a quick pass and stops before he could get the first down.
Jackson's pass. Lorenzo
2nd and
Carter
2,
brought
and
it
Jackson,
down.
I mean,
It's a gain of 8.
doing all right. He's doing pretty solid. I mean, first time playing since week 1, you expected him to make some mistakes. Oh, that was almost intercepted. No, it was almost, excuse me. It was actually caught, and then Mark Andrews dropped it, so it was not intercepted. And that's why the NFL probably doesn't have both teams wear white jerseys, but that is caught for a first down.
Jackson's pass complete to Nick Boyle.
And I spoke with Coach at halftime. He said he didn't just say he was going to put Lamar in for this game. He said all three QBs will get some playing time. So, I mean, like, yeah, so, I mean, I think what's going to happen is the backups will play the first and second quarter, and then Lamar might be the finisher. Lamar's going to run, and they get him again. They know how Lamar does his stuff. Next week, the Ravens return home to battle it out with the Lions. The Lions have yet to lose a game this season. They play the Pack, Deshaun Watson and the Pack this week. Still have yet to lose a game. That game's at Lambeau Field, but the Lions have proved that they can win on the road when they beat the Buccaneers 25-11 at Raymond James Stadium back in Week 2.
Jackson's pass complete to Des Bryant. First and goal, Baltimore.
Going for Mark Andrews is batted away and incomplete. 5 for 7, 71 yards. Yeah, almost picked. And Lamar's got to be careful because his coach made it clear to me that if he throws a pick, he's out for the rest of the game.
Jackson's pass.
As
Intended for Mark
that's another, almost picked. Lamar's got to stop throwing some dangerous passes. Lamar looks like he's going to use his own feet. Diving for it. He slid into the end zone, and what? How was that not a touchdown?
Jackson on the keeper.
Giants call a timeout. I think the Ravens are going to challenge this. I expect the Ravens to challenge this. That should have been a touchdown. And they are going to challenge.
The previous play is under review.
I don't think it will be successful either, but Lamar potentially just put his team on the board. And can't really see there. Well, his knee was down in the end zone, so I mean, I really can't see why they would not overturn the call. And what was in the referee's cereal there? I mean, like I said, we both. That should have been a touchdown. I mean, he slid into the end zone, and his knee was clearly down in the end zone. So that should be a touchdown, and he's going to get sacked. Unfortunately, that drive stalls out for Lamar Jackson. But keep in mind, the coach said if he throws an interception, that also result. If he also fumbles, then he'll be taken out. But the coach said if he throws an interception, then he's out. So just because he didn't get it on fourth down there, I don't think Harbaugh's going to take him out. And I mean, you got to admit, though, kudos to the Giants' defense. I mean, they're really starting to warm up. McCoy. Yeah, I mean, and honestly, I really don't think you could blame Jackson for that one. It was more on the offensive line. Their job is to make sure they don't get to Lamar Jackson, and Jackson, before he could do anything, he was sacked. As Colt McCoy finds Golden Tate over the middle for the first down. And both teams have yet to score in the third quarter. Keep that in mind. As that is caught by Slayton.
McCoy's pass complete to Darius Slayton. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
And tomorrow night, we got the Bears and Falcons from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. McCoy under pressure. Oh, almost throws a pick, but instead
McCoy's pass
incomplete.
intended for Darius Slayton.
And really,
Incomplete.
I mean, I think Colt should have just taken the sack there. That could have been trouble. Look at that! They stop him on 3rd down and 2. 4th and 5.
Saquon Barkley, the ball carrier.
And the Giants are not giving up, and I really don't blame them. I think you do go for it here. It's only 5 yards.
It's 4th down.
And the Ravens made a mistake there.
That's good.
They left Ingram open, and he was able to catch that ball for the first down, and the drive will continue.
37-yard line.
So, I mean, the Giants, they started off bad, and I think if McCoy wins this game, he's going to be the starter for the rest of the season, if not for a couple weeks.
Another New First and 10. at the
Yeah, even if they
47-yard
don't
line.
win, McCoy's gonna be the starter for a while. As Barkley with the hurdle. How about that?
Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, I mean, they are in field goal range. But I mean, a field goal really does them no good because that's only a 6-point game. And points are points, but Jackson just almost got a touchdown, kind of robbed of a touchdown, if you ask me. By the refs.
Another Giants first down.
Yeah. Golden Tate, he couldn't quite get in. Keep in mind the clock does not stop at 2 minutes here because it's an odd number quarter. So we continue, and McCoy is going to use his feet and slides into the end zone for the touchdown. He did the same thing Jackson tried, and they marked Jackson short, and I mean, McCoy, he was actually in the end zone before he slid, like 100%. The ball crossed the goal line. But, I mean, even in Lamar's case, his knee was down in the end zone. So that should have been a touchdown, and it should be 38-35 right now instead of a 10-point Giants lead. Minute 33 to play in the third. And currently the Giants are outscoring the Ravens 7-0.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Lamar and the Ravens. Lamar is kind of ticked. He got robbed of a touchdown. Oh, that was almost a one-handed catch, but instead dropped.
Jackson's pass incomplete on the jump ball. Jabril Peppers on the coverage.
Dobbins, 2 rushes for 14 yards.
He's brought down by Jabril Peppers. A gain of 13 yards. First down, Baltimore.
So as that was almost intercepted, and that was incomplete. I mean, maybe keeping a QB out of the game for a couple weeks actually helps. I mean, and that was a pass right to the defense. Good thing he dropped it.
Willie Snead, incomplete. It's third down and 10 yards to go.
Jackson, and that's what he's good. Oh, flag on the play as he catches it at the 29, it looked like.
Pass interference. Defense.
Oh, how about that? It's a first down and 10 from the opponent, 30 for the Ravens, defensive PI. No, I mean, like, the refs kind of robbed the Ravens of a touchdown, and I mean, on one part of the game, as Dobbins could not keep possession of the ball there, and he dropped it. I mean, they were down 1st and 20 because they got a holding penalty. So. I mean, the holding penalty was fair because they did do the holding, but I think they should have got a touchdown on that last drive. And honestly, this should be 35-28. It's about to be, or 38. Now it's about to be 35-28. Oh!
That's the end of the third quarter with the score Giants 38.
That man
28.
That man is going to be wishing he had that one back. And out for the 39-yard kick, Justin Tucker on 4th and 2. The kick is good to make it 31-38, and we're in the 4th and final quarter. If you're just now tuning in, 31-38 your score, and Colt McCoy ready to try to score another touchdown or extra point, or not extra point, or field goal. I mean, even if the Ravens lose this game, both teams are still in contention for the playoffs, as Lewis with a nice return there. I mean, it'd probably be better if the Ravens win it. But, I mean, you can't count the Giants out. Like, And the good news for the Ravens is they actually got touchdowns in this game. Back in week 1, they got no touchdowns. They just kicked 3 field goals to lose 49-9.
McCoy's pass, intended for Golden Tate, incomplete. It's now 2nd and 10.
Here's McCoy on 2nd and 10. And it's going to be 3rd down and 2 probably. Yes, 3rd down and 2.
That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 2.
Not up the middle, to the right. Saquon, he's free. What a rush. Barkley, touchdown. And the Giants have just got another score on the board. Yeah.
The kick is good.
If Colt McCoy is not the starter next week, I'm going to have questions for the Giants.
31. Graham Gano set to kick off.
Yeah. I just got word that the Ravens are going to let Huntley come out and do one drive to see if he can change things here. So we'll have to see if he can. I mean, even if it's only a field goal drive, at least he got something out of nothing. Oh, Mark Andrews hauls it in. And Huntley has another completed pass. 2 for 7.
And the Ravens first down.
And the reason why they're letting Huntley play is Lamar got tired. As what a catch there by Dez Bryant. So maybe Huntley just needed a break.
To Dez Bryant. A gain of 16 yards. First down, Ravens.
McSorley. Huntley going for a deep pass. That's incomplete, but I understand because there was like 3. Mark Andrews hauls it in.
Huntley's pass complete to Mark Andrews. A gain of 15. First down, Baltimore.
I talked to Huntley, asked him if he was a little upset about how the game was going for him, and he said nope. Asked him if he thinks he'll run out of here without any points at the 1, 22 yards, but I asked him during the break, will he go out of here without scoring any points? Guess what he said? Nope. Even if it's not him himself. Hands it off. Dobbins fights for it, does not get it.
J.K. Dobbins on the carry for Baltimore. Brought down just shy of the
2nd and goal.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and goal.
And sacked. But I mean, usually you get sacked at the 1.
Third down and goal.
Unless if you hand it off. They're going to hand to Dobbins. He's going to get dropped at the 1. Ravens are going to call a timeout because they're sick of this.
The ball carrier stopped short of the goal line. A gain of a yard brings up 4th and goal at the 1-yard line.
Let's go now.
Here we go. Huntley stopped at the 1. Now keep in mind the Ravens have a chance for a safety here if they can get McCoy down in the end zone. They also have a chance to intercept the ball. That is caught by Ingram. And I gotta say, if the Giants score again, this game's definitely over.
7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 8-yard line.
Oh, that's intercepted! And we were just talking about that.
McCoy's pass Intercepted by
And
the Raiders.
he's going to dance.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
They're putting Huntley back in. I mean, I think they're going to let Huntley finish the game. Andrews could not catch it.
Huntley's pass.
Now, if Huntley scores here, they might send in Lamar for the other.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Des Bryant incomplete. And they are sending back in Lamar. McCoy just yelled on, or Huntley just yelled on the mic, put Lamar in.
Huntley's pass.
So he can't take it anymore. 3rd down and 10. Lamar, can he score? Can he get somebody scoring here? Lamar uses his feet. Lamar jukes people. Gets it to the 7.
Jackson on the keeper. David Mayo brought him down. 1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
They went with a huddle. Here's Jackson. Bryant could not get in.
The wide receiver,
And they're going to use the last time out.
Down by Jabril Peppers. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
Oh, he almost throws a pick.
Jackson's pass intended for
He tries throwing a slant and he almost throws a pick.
It's 3rd down and goal from the 2-yard line.
3rd and goal. Jackson in trouble. He escapes. Oh, he throws it. He throws it, and that's going to be an illegal forward pass. He should have just kept rushing. 4th and goal from the opponent's 6. They have to get this touchdown. And Andrews drops it. The Giants have a chance to end this one. Devontae, I don't know if he's going to be on free agency because he's on the Texans with Aaron Rodgers, and they're not really doing good this season. They're 1-3, I believe.
McCoy's pass complete to Evan Ingram. That's a gain of 4.
Oh, I also spoke with Teddy Bridgewater, and after the Lions game a couple weeks ago, he had mentioned that he might want out of there, but last week he confirmed that he is staying with Denver because he thinks he can run them to a Super Bowl. Well, not a Super Bowl, a national championship, and I really don't blame him for wanting to stay there. I mean, it is great there, but I mean, to lose 59-15 like that, you wonder.
2 yards on the pickup.
And Colt McCoy is trying to end this one. He might be the starter as Barkley breaks free, and the game is over now. The game is over. Barkley, end zone, touchdown, Giants. And this to make it a 21-point game.
His kick is good. Makes the score Giants 52, Ravens 31.
Yeah, they're pretty agitated. And Lamar said that even with him, he couldn't do it. So that wonders, will the Giants become a rival of the Ravens? What if these teams meet up in the playoffs? Could the Giants spoil it for the Ravens? This is going to make the Ravens 2-2-1. And this is going to also make the Giants 2-2-1. And they could have had the interception to end it.
Jackson's pass intended for Des Bryant. Incomplete. It leads to 2nd and 10.
Jackson fires, pass is caught, flag on the play.
Pass interference.
Defensive PI, it's not going to matter anyway. Still a 21-point game, and it's going to take a miracle for them to come back. And that's intercepted.
Darnay holds. Jackson's pass.
So they're going to take this to the 2-minute warning, and McCoy and the Giants are just going to...
Giants take over.
Oh, I just realized that's the Ravens' first turnover of the game. The Giants had 6, Ravens 1. Barkley, oh my goodness. He gets free again. End zone touchdown as the 2-minute warning comes into play. 58-31. And, I mean, it's crazy. The Ravens are going to get shellacked again. They led 28-17 and then 28-24 at one point in this game. And then they trailed 31-28, and ever since that, McCoy and the Giants on fire.
Graham Gano set to kick off.
I mean, I think that if these two teams meet up in the playoffs, the Ravens better take some notes after tonight. I mean, come on. The Ravens play the Lions next week, and we'll tell you who the Giants plays next week real quick. Looks like the Giants are taking on the Raiders at Allegiant Stadium. The Raiders are doing pretty good. So the Giants will actually be on the road next week. And they're going to go on the road with a win. As Jackson fires, gets close to a first down, 2nd and 1.
Complete to J.K. Dobbins.
Minute 29. And
brings up 2nd and 1 at the 37-yard line. Jackson's pass complete to Willie Snead. It's a gain of 23
Jackson, our sideline reporter overheard him talking to the coach, and Jackson said he probably wants Huntley to start against the Lions next week. So could Jackson go on a break for a week if after this game? We'll have to find out. 56 seconds to go. Jackson fires a big one, tipped and incomplete.
Jackson's pass intended for Miles Boykin, incomplete. Jabril Peppers on the coverage.
Incomplete.
Jackson's pass intended for Dez Bryant, incomplete.
They're going to go for it just to try to keep the clock rolling. And Andrews drops it, and now I think all the Giants need to do is go down to a couple knees to end this one.
Andrews, incomplete. Result of the play is a turnover on down.
And they go down to a knee, and they'll need to do one more to end this one. 59-31, the final here in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The Giants smoke the Ravens again. And what do you think of this game?
Tonight's final score, Giants 59, Ravens 31.
And in the AFC North, the Ravens remain in second at 2-2-1. And now we're going to look at the NFC East, and the Giants will actually get into second at 2-2-1. So from third in the NFC East to second in the NFC East, Cowboys still have the lead at 4-0. So that's good. Next game tomorrow night. Bears, Falcons, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Hopefully my co-host, Splashy, will be back here tomorrow. 59-31 the final. Good night, everybody. After some post-game interviews. Okay. Okay. Hang on. We gotta do the post-game interviews. So Colt McCoy, dude. You come out when Daniel Jones struggled. When Daniel came over to the bench, what did he say to you exactly? I mean, you killed the Ravens 59-31. Literally, it's like you stuck a BB gun in the air and shot a Raven out of the sky. I mean, and there was one. There was one point where that you guys were ahead 17-0, and then what did you think when you saw the Ravens come back 3 scores and lead 21-17? And then when you saw the Ravens score again and make it 28-17, what was going through your mind? And then when you went out there and made it 28-24, what went through your mind then? And then, speaking of that, on the following drive, you drove your team down the field, got a late touchdown in the second quarter to lead 31-28 at halftime. What was the coach saying to you guys at the half when you were ahead? Okay, so he was saying maybe Daniel needs a break. And then, after you were up 31-28, you proceeded to go out there and throw a touchdown pass to make it 38-31. Oh, and then 38-28. Then the Ravens take it down the field. Tucker kicks a field goal, makes it 31-38. But then on the next drive, you take it down the field and it's 45-31. Walk us through that. And you're getting a lot of boos from the Ravens fans right now. What's your response to that? Okay, and then you handed it off to Barkley late in the fourth quarter, and he took it all the way to the house and made it 52 to 31. What was your response to that? And and then you guys proceeded to what the league would call be a smart aleck and rush for another long touchdown to make it 59 to 31. What was Barkley saying after he got that? Barkley said though that potentially he becomes a free agent at the end of the season. Do you think coach will re-sign him, or if the coach doesn't, where would you like to see him go? I mean, on good thoughts, though, you guys are still in playoff contention. You could be like the Chargers right now and literally be one game away from being eliminated from playoff contention. Okay. Yep. So your plan is to become 9-2-1 at when that final whistle blows in the regular season. Speaking of that, you gonna watch any of the upcoming games? You got the Lions taking on the rival, the Pack, even though they practically embarrassed them 2 summers ago in Mexico. But what you gonna watch any games? Okay, and then one more thing before you go. The people in your conference right now, the NFC East. What are you thinking about that? You got the Cowboys at 4-0. You guys are in second at 2-2-1. The football team's in third at 1-2-1, and the Eagles are in last at 1-3. Like, any response to that? Okay. All right. Well, Colt McCoy, you're probably gonna be starting next week versus the versus the Raiders. Do you think you're gonna win, or do you think that maybe Carr might get the win, but then you rebound the following week? Well, currently, right now in your conference, you're the second best team because the Cowboys are undefeated. They have not lost a game under Josh Allen because him and Dak Prescott switched places. So what do you think about that? Okay, well, we'll have to see if he's overrated if he ends up going 12-0. I mean, teams that are undefeated, do you think they could go to 12-0? He's actually this week he's going to go against the Panthers in London, and they're actually the home team and the Panthers are the away team. So what do you think happens in that game? Panthers 3-1, Cowboys 4-0. Well, keep in mind it's not the first tie of the season because you guys tied last week. you guys, you guys, you guys actually tied against the Ravens or the Raiders last week, 29, and then you're gonna play them again in Week 6. So that's only a 2-week break between those two games. So I think, I think that you guys got some extra days to practice and rest. But anyway, thanks for your time, Colton. And we're gonna talk to some of the Ravens now. All right. First up, we got McSorley. McSorley, you threw a couple touchdowns out there. What do you think happened after that? All right. Well, there's not really much to talk about since you are only in for a little bit. So thanks for your time, and we're actually gonna talk to Huntley now. So Huntley, you, I mean, Lamar Jackson is now 0-2. I mean, um, and it's against the same team, and you actually were about 2-0-1 this season. And what walk us through there? How you feeling about how this game turned out? Well, the good news for you is you're not out of it because they're going to start you against the Lions next week, and you're actually at home for that game. So, there is good news out of it, and hopefully you can turn things around next week. And I guess it didn't turn out this week, but after all, you get to go home and see your family and stuff at the end of this night. So, and a couple extra days to practice. So, do you think you could maybe make the playoffs? How would you feel if you played this team again in the playoffs? Okay, okay. We're gonna talk to Lamar, so you might want to prepare for that Lions game, dude. Especially because it's supposed to snow next weekend, and yeah. As of right now, it's supposed to snow. Well, keep in mind the Lions are the road team and currently are only 1-0 on the road because they've been at home mostly. Um, and what do you have? Do you have anything to comment about them beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Week 2? Yep. See you next week. Hopefully it turns out better for you. All right, Lamar, you had been benched since losing to these guys 49-9 in Week 1. Sorry to remind you, by the way, but um, anyway, you lost to them in Week 1, and you come out here and walk us through the game. Now, back when the game was 45-31, did you feel like you had a chance there? You actually requested that Huntley starts next week. Why? So based off of what you've seen tonight, you don't think that he should be on the bench or anything? Okay, well, Lamar, you gotta get going because you gotta get back to Baltimore. So thanks for your time, and Hopefully, you can finally defeat the Lions next week. They're, I mean, 4-0, and they potentially could be 5-0 because the Pack really hasn't been doing too good. I mean, back in Week 4, the Pack lost 41-16 against the Dolphins, and then in Week 3 they lost 57-14 against the Steelers. Oh, you did, Lamar. Yeah, how do you think Deshaun Watson is performing though? Like, I mean, do you feel like he's doing all right? Just maybe needs some changes. Okay. Also, one more thing. The Eagles and Texans are gonna go at it from Allegiant Stadium, the Pro Bowl stadium, which would have been the Pro Bowl. Um, and the Texans are 1-3. They have Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. How? Yeah, I mean, both teams are 1-3, so somebody's gonna win unless if they tie. But alright, well, like we said, you gotta get going, and this is actually the second game this week to go into the 50s. The Vikings finally got their first win on Wednesday night, winning 57-27 against the Jets to finally give the Jets their first loss of the season. And the Vikings started the season 0-4 coming into this game, so. And then the Jaguars, they started 0-4, and they finally got their first win, 20-17 against the Titans, and both those teams are at 1-4. Yep, see ya. And those are the players' interviews, so good night, everybody.